I'm doing another slightly secret squirrel video in the car today because I don't really want to talk about this in front of Bosco and Lampup. I don't want to talk about it with Mrs. Sheepdog in the other room. I just thought it'd be better if I talked about it on my own, one-to-one with the camera, say everything that I could think about, and then, put it up on the internet, and they don't have to know what I said or what I did or whatever about that. But as you know by the title, the theme is basically I give terrible advice, but it's not about advice I give day to day. It's just about the situation that we're finding ourselves in as a family. And I guess this is a new topic to bring up for me. It's a topic that many of you are probably familiar with from other channels like Kev's. But basically, since Bosco's been at school, he's been having sort of observations, reviews, checkups, and so forth. As people have probably picked up on the videos, his behaviour is slightly different, and it's not bad behaviour; it's just different behaviour. And basically, we've suspected for a while that there's maybe an underlying cause or an underlying thing there. And most recently, he had a report carried out at the end of term last year. We've had a meeting about it just gone, and we've had a load of paperwork through, basically saying that the recommendation is that they're going to look at Bosco and treat him as though he is on the autistic spectrum. They've said they're not sure whether it's definite, whether he is, whether he isn't, how far on it, where he is, and that sort of thing. But they are looking at it as though basically the school have been told to treat him as though he is, and we are to sort of start treating him like he is and acting like he is and working around him like he is, whilst they continue to do I guess just dot the I's, cross the T's. They'll have to do possibly scans and stuff. But it was really interesting reading through the report. They basically said about how he behaves in school. He kind of goes about taking part in everything that's going on around him, but not really engaging in it. He's, doing his own thing, or just he goes with whatever's happening. There's some interesting stuff I read in there, but that's not really what I want to get into. This isn't meant to be a vlog basically announcing that, Bosco may be autistic or something like that. It's more of my advice giving ability. I always thought I was really bad at giving advice, because it never really worked exactly to plan, or it backfired a little bit, or I'd say one thing and he'd do it and it would cause trouble. But now I'm starting to think the reasoning might be that he's taking everything very, very literally, which would be a very strong indication of autism or something along those lines. Today, the reason that I'm doing this video today, we got a call because basically since he's been at school, if somebody backs him into a bit of a corner or upsets him, he tends to lash out a bit and argue with them. Or, most lately he's been quite upset by some people laughing at him because of his speech or because he's acting randomly, and he's just giving them a slap. And I had a word with him about it, and I said that if someone's upsetting you, you don't hit them. You mustn't hit people. The best thing you can do is walk away and ignore it, and just walk away from the problem and let it kind of diffuse on its own. I did make points about talking to a teacher, letting a teacher know that it happened and that kind of thing, but I'm guessing that bit didn't really sink in, because today in PE somebody upset him, and basically they do PE out in a big field, and bless him, he's basically got upset with somebody, and instead of lashing out, he's just walked off and he's gone into the orchard nearby, and he's just stood in there for a bit, and they've gone in there to try and get him, and because he's upset and he thinks he's in trouble, he's walked off further. And I got a call saying he's basically spent half of PE in this little orchard woods bit next to his school, just wandering around, not doing anything. They said he wasn't being naughty, he wasn't running away from them in mischievous ways, he was just walking away from them further, standing there calming down and acting, I want to chill out, I suppose, I want to calm down. And when they finally coaxed him out of the forest bit, the woods, he said that someone in his class had upset him and he was feeling upset, and he had a chat with the head and the deputy head, because I think the deputy head had come out to talk to him because they get on quite well. So when she rang me, I explained to her that he's having, he's just been sort of, I can't think of the right word. He's basically, they've said that we need to start acting. Recommendations are that we start treating him as though he's on the spectrum, and we make plans according to that, and that we need to consider this and we need to look at it. And she was on board already. She already knew, which I suspected she would have been the deputy head. But I said to her, I'm really sorry that he's done it. She said, don't be silly, he's not done anything wrong. It's just a reaction because of the fact that he felt uncomfortable or whatever it was. He's just got up and he's left the situation. And I said, that is what I told him to do, but obviously it's massively backfired, and I really wish I'd worded it better, like go and stand next to a teacher, or go and do exactly what the teacher wants you to do, whatever, just something that made it clearer. But I'm thinking I really do need to watch it now, because before I told him to walk away, he'd been having the problem where I'd told him that he shouldn't do it and he needed to control it. And I basically said to him, when you feel you're about to, like, I don't know, get your fist, or you're about to give someone a slap, the best thing to do is put your hand down by your side and just clench your fist. And then the next day I got a note saying he was walking around holding his fist out at people. And he said to me, well, you told me to. You told me to clench my fist if I was upset. And I said, okay, no, what I meant was, like, just try and diffuse the tension. So then I said to him, maybe squeeze on your thumb or something, just something on your arm, a bit different. So the next time he gets a bit upset, the teacher asks him what he's doing, and he's basically doing this. And I said, why did you do that? And in front of the teacher, goes, you told me to do it. You said do that when I'm upset, when someone's upset me. And I said, no, I didn't. Oh. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, no, I'm not saying, like, crush your own face with your hand when people upset you. I was saying just, like, hold your own arm, so that way he doesn't look threatening. It's a bit calm. It's, you know, you're just squeezing the tension out a little bit. Because I wanted to send him in with a stress ball, but what I didn't want him to do was start throwing it around, causing trouble with it or whatever. I didn't want that to become a new issue. So I'm delicately trying to walk around potential issues, like handing a kid a ball that he can carry around all day. And instead I'm creating a scenario where he's mangling himself, and I just felt terrible. But bless him, I feel like since being told that this could be the thing, this could be the, you know, the situation with him, that's his life, it does feel like we're suddenly starting to see things a bit differently, and that's been really nice. Obviously, of course, the first reaction is worry. You know, you think, oh my God, is he going to be okay? But I mean, I'm very, very, very lucky that I have someone like Kev and Anna who are basically living this on a far more extreme level and have been doing it for years and years. They're absolute heroes with it, and they've obviously become these experts who talk about it on YouTube all the time. You know, Kev has been on the BBC radio and news and TV all over how much he knows about this whole topic. So, I mean, obviously the first thing I did was text him, and he was very helpful. He handled it in Kev way. He's entertaining with it. He's enlightening with it. He makes his point. He always makes in his videos that different isn't broken and there's nothing wrong with it all. And we knew that anyway. We're not going to sit there and go, oh my God, this is the end of the world. It was just more of a, we're relieved to be somewhere. It's not definite, but we're relieved that people are starting to help us out with it. That there's thoughts going into it, and it's weird. The second they kind of said it, we were like, yeah, we figured, to be fair, and there was no real shock, no real like moment. It was just kind of a yep, and now we can start trying to handle it from that perspective, because I think a lot of people, it's like anything. I mean, I know that Kev's gone through it when there's been like a meltdown in co-op. People look at you like you're just a monster who can't handle things. We've not had that, but we have. When we do go to places that are busy, people do act like it's a nightmare. I mean, I mentioned that the guy was saying, "God bless you," "Oh, you're a maniac," when he saw that we were taking Bosco and Lamp up to Disney on the plane, and he just said it's going to be mental, and there was that worry, but obviously he didn't know what he was talking to or about. He didn't make me feel bad or anything, but he made the point, and we were wary of that. And to his testament, Bosco handled it really well, and I think we handled him really well. But it's just been a really interesting, different time, and I kind of go through. I keep thinking about it now, and I keep thinking about instances and stuff that's happened, and it always is the same bloody thing. Like going back to my advice giving thing, like, I feel like we should have probably picked up on it a bit sooner, although we did. As I say, it's been going on for a year, for a couple of years now, since he's been at school, and we wondered about it at nursery. But just in general, we've been looking at this whole kind of, I'll say this is what you should do, or this is the best way to handle this, and then we get a call and something's happened, and I've really got to be careful, and I don't know what to do. I'd love to find, I mean, I asked Kev, but I didn't know how to word it. I don't know how you give advice to someone who takes everything literally, or who will just interpret that advice in a given way and do it, or do it in a way that you've never anticipated, because that is becoming my biggest challenge. That's becoming my, difficulty with this, because the school rings me and says he did X, and I told him to, and they're like, yeah, but not in that way, and I'm like, And so now I've got to be super, super literal. Like, if you are in this particular situation, you need to, I need to start thinking of ways to say you need to, go to the teacher and not walk away from the situation. I hadn't even considered that he would do something like that. I didn't consider he was going to grab his own face, but it's such a difficult thing. And I guess it's something that I'm not going to become like a channel where I talk about that all the time, because I mean, Kev does that. It's there. If you want information about that, he's for that. I'm kind of trying to figure it out. It's part of our family and what we are, what we have now. If that's Bosco, that's Bosco. That's fine. It's brilliant. We all love him lots. I think he's generally, if we can handle bits like that, he's perfect. He's lovely. He's a brilliant little boy. He's very clever, very bright, very funny. Very funny, and it's just something that we need to make sure he grows through and learns to manage himself. But it's just an odd time, I guess, because obviously we're getting all this information through now, and we're booking stuff in, and the situation is very, whilst they've recommended that the school start working as though he is on the spectrum already, while they dot the I's and cross the T's, our next appointment is months away, and that's probably only going to be a one appointment to talk about it a little bit further, and then go from there a little bit further. And it just feels like we're pushing it across, and then eventually, I mean, from what they were saying, it'll probably be next year sometime, that like when he's in year 2 at school, that we'll get any kind of official documentation. So don't get me wrong, this isn't me saying it's all definite and this is that or whatever. I don't want to be one of those people who walks around saying it is something and it's not been diagnosed. It's with a reasonable amount of evidence is at that point, and that has helped. We've seen already actually that last week was a difficult week at school, and I was trying really hard to advise him through it all. And I think by Friday he'd got the great results, and then today's had this kind of little problem, which isn't a behaviour problem, it's more of a me problem, giving him advice. But I'm going to see him now in a minute when I pick him up, and it's just like, I hope he's okay. We just got to help him, and either way, whatever happens, it's given us a kind of a route to go down to help him out. And I just thought I'd do a quick video about it, as I say, because I know that there's others going through the same thing. It'd be interesting to talk to people who are in the same boat as us right now, because one thing I did chat to Kev about, he said he's obviously never been through this side of the process. For him, he walked into it when Andy was, I don't know, I can't remember now, 8, I want to say, maybe 7. He was young anyway, and Anna had been dealing with it all, and it's been more severe. But with us, it's kind of, it's just a long paperwork ridden process, and talking to my family about it all and that sort of thing. So I've told my family, I need to talk to some other people, but it's just interesting, and I thought I'd do a vlog because that's what's going on in sheepdog world at the moment. And it's never a dull moment and all that. I'm going to wrap it up because I need to go pick them up. I'm running late and I'm not really sure what to say. I just wanted to kind of vent a little bit, just because I feel guilty for giving advice that's backfired for him over and over again. I feel like almost like if I'd kept my mouth, if I'd kept my mouth shut, it'd have probably been slapping people still, which isn't on. But if I hadn't have kept my mouth, if I'd have thought of better responses, then he would be probably in a better situation. But I'm not blaming myself in like a woe is me kind of way. I'm just feeling awkward that it's hard. It is hard, and I'm learning already that it's hard just on that bit, and it hasn't even begun to scratch the surface of hard compared to what some people go through. I know that, but still. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. Subscribe, like, comment, and all that stuff. I appreciate all the support and following that I get. I know I was a bit moody on Twitter yesterday about just not knowing what to vlog about. Part of me was just feeling generally, frustrated about situations here and there, not just this thing, but just other stuff. I'm always worried about doing videos where I'm just having a whinge about something. Like, I wanted to whinge because my family were watching Strictly and it was boring and whatever. And I thought, I don't want to do a video where I'm whinging about that. It's a bit trite. So I didn't. But no, I will keep doing this. I'm enjoying the videos, and it's useful for a place to talk about stuff like this because I know you're all very helpful people. And yeah, I appreciate your subscribing and your comments and your thumbs up and general support. So thank you very much, and I will see you in 2 days' time. Cheers.